Has anyone ever told you that they believe in God or a God or something, but let's get to work. I recently was having a conversation with a coworker about some of the moral issues that are going on in our society, and we both were pretty much in agreement that this country has a problem with morality. And as the conversation went on, we began talking about what really grounds morality. And obviously, as a Christian, I believe that morality is founded and based in God's nature and essence. But I wasn't sure where he was at with faith or whether he had faith or not. And so I asked him, and he told me that he's definitely not an atheist. He does believe in some sort of God, some sort of creator that's beyond us, even leans towards Christianity as being the truth, but that he just has a hard time trusting religion as a whole. I pushed back a little bit on this about how generally, really, everyone has some sort of belief system, a religion of sorts, but that what he was really talking about is sort of your capitalized R, your organized religion, your hard religion. And ultimately, I think it was a good conversation. In that factory setting, it's hard to really have a good free-flowing discussion sometimes, just with production cycles going back and forth. There's so much noise and things going on, but I think I made some good points, and we both had some good things to think about at the end of it. But I knew that this issue of faith, or what he saw as sort of blind faith, wasn't resolved in any way. Break time came, we kind of parted ways for the rest of the day, the conversation was over, but naturally, as I sort of do, I started replaying or reviewing the conversation in my head. And later on, I sort of realized a major point, after the fact, of course, sort of like George Costanza with his jerk store punchline. So many people perceive our faith, the Christian faith, as blind faith. That we can't prove everything with absolute certainty, and so what we do is sort of blindly or robotically just accept it as it is. But really, if you think about it, we all take so many things every day on faith. We assume that when we wake up and we leave for work, we're going to get there safely, although you can never prove with 100% certainty that you will. We trust that our spouses are faithful, although we can't stay on top of them and watch their every single move all day long. I've never been to Ireland. I have no tangible way of actually proving with 100% certainty that it exists. But the evidence is pretty good, and based on that evidence, I believe that it's there. The point is, there is always a chance that we as human beings are wrong about something, but that does not alone prove the thing false. Nowadays, there's almost a blind skepticism that doesn't allow anything to be true when you play it out, and that leads to all sorts of problems. But then as I thought about what he said again, I believe in God or a God or something, it hit me. I believe, but that alone proves that he has some sort of experiential or natural belief in God. That there are, in fact, reasons that lead him to believe in a personal creator. That this isn't blind at all. That through creation and morality and reason, he sees the evidence for God clearly. And this is just what Paul tells us in Romans 1, verse 20. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made. This is what is often called general or natural revelation. God has revealed to us through creation his power, his divine nature, his love, and his magnificence. When we look around at the awe-inspiring beauty of the world, at the complexity built into the fabric of it, we see the evidence for God right there. Paul goes on to talk about in Romans how this law of God is written in our hearts, that our conscience bears witness to us. This means that when we look at the world around us, and even when we look inside of ourselves, we see God's handiwork. We see evidence for God. Jesus tells us in Matthew 7, ask and it will be given. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened. All it takes is a genuine pursuit of the truth that we already see all around us. Again, like I said in the last video, I don't have all the answers. I agree, human beings are imperfect and we can be wrong. But I'm not asking you to believe and trust in human beings. I'm asking you to believe and trust in the God that we all know is there. So the next time someone tells you, I believe, but, stop them right there and ask them to consider what they just said. I'm Derek Brown for Working Class Apologetics. Thanks for watching.